Testing one, two,
Yo,
one,
check
two.
it. Sun sinking low, street lights start to glow. I'm feeling so electric, gotta let the whole world know. Listen close, here's how it goes. Yeah. Vibing, vibing, yeah, that's all I do. Vibing, vibing with me and my crew. We just vibing, vibing, is that okay with you?
Mic check. Mic check. One, two, one, two.
Vibing,
All right, all right, all right.
jungle.
So,
Wherever
y'all, a
life
lot
may
has
go,
taken place today.
life ain't always gentle, but tonight
It's
it's gonna rumble. When you
Operation
feel
um
that it's
bust
real,
down the lemon effect.
yeah. Vibing,
Because
vibing,
lemon is
yeah,
a
that's all
self-admitted
I do.
narcissist. Okay, so here we go. Right.
Vibing, vibing
So
with me and my crew.
Envy went live today and played victim,
Vibing, is
and he
that
didn't just
okay
play
with
victim
you?
by himself. Envy didn't just play victim by himself. Envy brought Shaka Zulu on to play victim. Now, if y'all remember Shaka Zulu was the Haitian that was in Lemon's Discord. Lemon didn't initially admit it. And he came on there, and like when he comes on with a deep voice. But by the time, it levels out or whatever, he got the typical Haitian voice, normal Haitian voice, right? So, and trolling like crazy. So, anyways, Diva had trolled Shaka Zulu on the panel, and they were going at Shaka Zulu for being Haitian. The typical like Trump. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. The typical stuff, right? So, Shaka, he was sitting up there taking it in the chest, right? And then Lemon call himself coming out here like the Queen Diva, and defending Shaka. Only for the next day for Shaka to tell him that he didn't need his defense because he's a real man, right? All right. So and that Lemon was a schizophrenic, acting schizophrenic, right? Then like I looked up schizophrenia plus narcissism, and it pans out about right. But anyways, so Envy then decided to play victim, right? To double down on his victimhood, to double down on manipulating the clicks and the views, to double down on the clout chasing, to double down on getting into the beef sector because the Mo3 sector rejected him. Envy decided to double down, right? And then he don't know how much longer he gonna be able to pretend like he's in a relationship. He don't know how long he's gonna be able to pretend that he's in a relationship, right? Because Envy likes to have virtual meetings at 3 a.m. in the stream yard, in his office on the stream yard, right? And he says, I don't care what nobody says, he's gonna have his 3 a.m. meetings in his virtual office on StreamYard. So Envy then doubled down on the victimhood, and it got Lemon all in his feces. So Lemon was off today. He decided to go live, and he up there. You can tell when Lemon is bothered, right? It's two or three ways you can tell when he's bothered. One, he's not gonna call your name. Like he don't call my name, right? He ain't gonna bring no attention to me. But let's keep going because I don't want to tell all the secrets. The second way is he talks a mile a minute. And all he doing is gaslighting and making up stuff. And then the chat was eating him up. The chat was like, you should apologize to Envy. The chat Oh my gosh. That's how you do it. That's how y'all do it. I've been telling y'all that's how y'all do it. Y'all be like, why QI do that? Why QI? Yeah, that's why QI do. But anyways, so now, like now pizza didn't realize that the lemon effect is not affecting. The lemon effect is, quite a flaw. And so pizza's up there trying to do damage control. This is so funny for this new, should we say sector? This new whatever. New new this yeah, we're gonna keep all right, for the sake of it. New sector for the sake of it, this new sector, right? Cause like they want to be the OGs, right? Cause what y'all looking at is this. What I told y'all. What y'all really looking at is uh I don't know. It's Duchess Kelly Love's fault now. To go tell Duchess, I said it's his fault for crowning Pizza Queen when she got that 1,000 in her chat. Cause they had, and then they went on that campaign train, hate train against Spy. Not realizing that Fi is a coworker, right? One of the main co-workers, right? They kept the beef sector flourishing during the pandemic. All right. So they just like greedy. They're like, if we get rid of her, because back then they was real mad, big mad about, because they had Tisa over there. Fabe had some big contributors. Fabe super chats used to light up. And so, I guess they was pocket watching. They was like, okay, if we get rid of five, all this gonna come to us. So they did their little hate train. It worked for the most part. But then then they had Sir King behind him. They blackballed him too. All right. I was the first blackball, but it was different. It was different. It was different. It was different. But anyways, so all the money basically for the last couple of years been going to the trifecta, right? So Brianna then amped out the game. Lady Nika, Lady Nika, smart. She laying low. She in the bushes. She trying to figure out which team to go with because Lady Nika gonna always try to go with the best team. So right now, Nika can't figure out which team is the best, right? She can't figure out which team is the best. So she's saying, I'm just gonna play neutral right here in this corner until we see and get some momentum, and then I'm gonna pick the best team. So Lady Nika in the cut. ODS said, okay, I'm big dog. I'm finna come back out here. But keep in mind, ODS don't beef though. And he nonchalant. It's a different day and time, ODS. That's all I'm gonna try to say. All right. So and Lemon was so glad that ODS pulled back out. But then it's a different day and time. And then y'all want a new sector. Y'all got some new rules. Y'all want to beef, right? Y'all want to beef. Or let's just be more accurate. They want to see other people beef. They want to incite other people to fight while they sit back and get, the clicks, the views, and the cash apps off their channel by being a panel channel, right? All right. So Pizza up there, like she's like, oh, this is our money guy. I gotta get up here and do some damage control. But you can tell that in Pizza's voice, she knows it's a losing battle because Lemon is unpredictable. Unpredictable. It's unpredictable. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. He's unpredictable. And I've been telling them that for the longest time. Remember, I was the first head Lemonette. You know, he's a self-admitted narcissist, and then according to Shaka Zulu, he also uh, uh is schizophrenic. So those two combinations together means that you don't have a good business partner. All right. So they over there falling apart. They over there falling apart, right? And envy, like, okay, y'all ain't finna knock me out the game. Y'all are not about to knock me up out the game. I'm about to pull somebody else in. Plus, Envy is the recruiter and the head honcho for the man council for the Bros Before Hoes campaign, which includes Binary. Y'all see the play. Binary is the Olivia Pope for Lemon. Yet, watch tomorrow. He gonna come clean this up. Binary got to clean this up in the morning. He got to go clean up Lemon's bad, poor behavior. Um, and basically, Lemon was also heated because none of his manipulative, stalking, narcissistic, abusive tactics have worked. Because Clyde Diva back out on the prowl, but anybody who know Clyde, like me, who've been following her for a long time, we know that Clyde, she'll take a break or two and come back. You know, Clyde does Clyde. So, when Clyde says, hey, just let her do her. Let her do her. She'll be back, or, maybe, in her due time, whenever she feels like it. But, like, if you know Clyde, also, you know that Clyde don't need nobody. Lemmy came out here acting like Clyde needed him when he just don't know Clyde and what Clyde can do. I've seen Clyde's work. The black sector knows Clyde's work. Clyde can work it, twerk it. You don't have nothing on Clyde. Nobody has nothing on Clyde when Clyde's in her bag. And that's all I'm gonna say. She don't need black sector, nobody. All she needed some people hitting that link. That's all I'm gonna say. But at any rate, we got people out here doing damage control. It's all about the money. Like Uppity said, if it ain't about the money, Triple Red, if it ain't about the money, everything is all about the money. Keep in mind, everybody here for the money, including me. I'm trying to get me some money. All right. But these are plays, and they plays to stay on top. Even the new sector is about who gonna be like being OGs. Because if they start a new sector, Pizza and Lemon would be OGs, right? And that's the whole thing. You had a lot of people from the original B sector. I don't know why they might have felt, because it's not just Pizza and Lemon, it's a lot of 'em that, uh they thought they could do what the original OGs did, but it was harder than they thought, because we got, like, people are saying, we got docs, we got a lot of stuff happened to us. Now I'm not saying that I wish they happened to the next person, but we paid dues. We laid bricks and paid dues, and they just stepped up and thought they could do it better. But they are finding out and about to find out, and they're getting their butts whipped by, guess what? The more experienced than the OGs, okay? They getting their butts whipped by the more experienced than the OGs, and that's what you got to do. Like them older people, I could teach you. I could teach you. Teach them. Teach them. Sometimes you got to let people learn the hard way, because they think it's all easy and gravy. They don't realize the stuff was laid in their hands. Stuff was laid in both of their hands. Neither one of them earned nothing. It was laid in their hands. And at the time, it was a B sector fall who to the detriment, because it's like everybody is not a leader. And like with all things, you need leaders, people who can make good decisions. It's not to say we're a cult, because at the same time, we are all our own individual brands. So, we're responsible for ourselves, but if we're co-workers, we do have need a code of conduct. And the original B sector did have a code of conduct. When people fell out of that code of conduct, it was rage. It was rage. It was shame. You were cast. Because I was part of the crew that got cast the most. That got cast the most, right? So, like, in these new rules, like, I mean, B sector got potential to grow beyond. We got to realize some things are liability. And, like, what do you want to do? You want to stay stuck in the same spot, or you want to, grow? Growth ain't about bringing people in and other problematic people in. Growth is about your production and what you put out here, the quality of your work. Quality. Quality produces growth. And that's like and like with me myself personally, that's what I've told myself. It's about the quality. So I'm taking my time because I'm an artist. So I'm taking my time because it's about the quality of my channel. It's about the quality of my work. Quality over quantity. Quantity only lasts for so long, it's temporary. Quality is substantial, consistent, and longer lasting. So keep that in mind. That's the gym. Um, I'm still working out the kinks, trying to do it because I'm doing it, from the dirt, from the mud, like and it's also better to do a lot of things from the mud. It ain't nothing wrong with collabing, but you got to keep in mind, even with a collab, you got your own brand. But hey, but it's a lot going on. It's a lot of emotions. We can see that the Rome is falling. And it's just funny. Like that's why I'm doing this content, because it's funny. I already knew from day one that this was going to be a funny process. I'm gonna cover it. I don't hate any of the parties or whatever. I'm on some people's butts. I'm gonna stay on some people's butts or whatever. But just look at it like sometimes it's love licks, whether they know it or not. But at the end of the day, it is unapologetically Q. I just came to bring some fun, to tell you what's going on, how people are panicking, how the lemon effect is not affecting, how envy over there running plays and running plays and playing victim. Narcissists' favorite thing when they fail or when they're not looking so good, they love to play victim. And then so lemon trying to find out. Lemon, let me tell you, okay, I think Lemon are lost, right? Lemon coming out here like right now, what he doing is he's searching for that open hole to become the victim. Watch, Lemon's next move is to become victim, and then if he don't become victim tonight, binary Mr. Olivia, Mrs. Olivia Pope is gonna do it in the morning. Okay, so that's the news, and I'm out. Peace, love, one.